But first, we have to start at the White House and President Trump's big address to Congress just hours away now. NewsNation's Robert Sherman is in Washington with the very latest ahead of this primetime address. Robert, good morning to you. I mean, it's been an explosive 6 weeks since Trump returned to the White House. What are we expecting from tonight?
Hey, good morning, Markie. There's certainly a lot of anticipation heading into tonight's address, with the White House telling us that the focus is going to be on the renewal of the American dream. According to the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, quote, President Trump will celebrate his extraordinarily successful first month in office while outlining his bold, ambitious, and common sense vision for the future. And NewsNation is told there are four main tenets that we can expect the president to home in on. First, a review of his first month in office. Then, deeper dives into the issues of the economy, immigration, and conflicts abroad as he attempts to lay out his plan for each. The president says he intends to, quote, tell it like it is. The 45th president will head over to Capitol Hill with First Lady Melania Trump tonight, with remarks slated to begin just after 9. Markie?
Yeah, all of us eager to see what the tone, the message is going to be. And Robert, the president's speech coming at a time when there's plenty of uncertainty abroad. I mean, both when it comes to foreign conflicts as well as trade. How do you think those issues are going to factor into his address tonight?
Well, no two ways about it, Markie. There's been a lot of movement, particularly in the last 24 hours. You look at the tariff front, the president announcing that 25% tariffs will be coming down on Mexico and Canada. This is after a month-long pause was put into effect to see what kind of movement those countries were able to make on the issue of immigration. But the president saying that there's no more room for negotiation on those fronts. And already we've seen China as well as Canada coming out and instituting tariffs of their own that they're levying against the United States. And then there's the issue of the war that's going on in Ukraine right now, in which the White House has told us that they intend to pause aid to the Ukrainians as their goal is to try and find a way to get that conflict to a territory of peace. This after that explosive situation in the Oval Office on Friday and those meetings between President Trump and President Zelensky. So a lot of questions as to where the talks about the war in Ukraine will go from here. Markie.
All right, Robert, we'll be watching closely. Thank you so much. And by the way, too, several ex-government employees will be attending the president's address tonight. More than a dozen Democrats are inviting recently fired federal workers to be their guests. Just last week, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer urged rank-and-file lawmakers to issue those invitations. And NewsNation special coverage of President Trump's address to Congress starts tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.